Today on the Positive Worth podcast, I continue my Interesting People I Know series with Peter Pettis, an entrepreneur who recently went from struggling to thriving. Minutes before filming this episode, Peter invested an additional $99,000 into his business, and to find out how he feels about that, you'll just have to listen in for more. I'm James Oliver, your host, and you've just joined me for my journey of holistic learning, where I talk with people about the 5 F's in their life: field, family, finance, fitness, and faith. I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, and share to help the algorithm. Diving right into it, Peter, tell us about your business. What do you do?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, James.
Yeah.
It's great to be here. So my business is I rent neurofeedback devices to anyone who wants them. In particular, I try to focus on people with anxiety disorders, as I have come to see, and research shows that there are a lot of people in our generation, that being millennials, and also the generation that follows us, Generation Z, a lot of us have anxiety. It's coming up a lot, and I personally found a way that worked for me that was effective in helping me to manage that anxiety very well without medication and for the long term, and that is neurofeedback training. And these neurofeedback devices that you train with tend to be very expensive, and that is a barrier to entry for most people. So I saw an opportunity to buy a bunch of these machines and make them available to other people at a price that was accessible to most people, so that they could also benefit from this amazing technology that absolutely changed the way I am as a person, and made me into a better person without anxiety. So I wanted to help other people out.
Now, I noticed a change in your business over the last several months to a year, where you began this. It's been more than a year since you first began this idea of renting out these machines that have helped you, right?
Yes.
How long have you been doing this, first of all?
So I've been working at this business for I want to say about 2 years now, and it hasn't been until the last couple months to where I've really seen any progress. Well, that's not true, not progress, but seen it catch on with other people. I just spent a lot of time just trying to see what works. I'm a new business owner. This isn't something I've done before, so I'm very much navigating a world that I'm unfamiliar with. So it's been a lot of learning in the past year and a half, and then finally in the last few months, like I said, it feels like that learning's being put to use, and I'm able to use what I've been learning the last year and a half, and it's.
So your focus is on renting out these machines to see other people receive the same benefit that you've received from them. We were talking a couple of days ago when I initially asked you to do an episode of the podcast about some of your approach that has changed in the last several months. Can you talk about your SEO, your coaching that you've received? First of all, what is SEO?
Great question. It's an unfamiliar term to most people, and I only learned that myself once I started working on my website. So SEO is a strategy for marketing, and specifically it's a method of optimizing a web page to show up in Google or other search engine results, but everyone uses Google mainly, right? So it's a way to get your page to rank higher on Google. So that means when you search for anything, say a home meal delivery, you're going to get a list of results, and they're all going to be ranked. You're going to see someone's name higher than another person's, and what that means is that that person who is at the top of the list optimized their site in a better way than the next person, and that's why the results are more relevant to Google's search queries. So when I learned about that, I immediately that's the first thing I did when I started doing anything for my own business, and it was the main growth factor for my business. Honestly, I use Instagram as a marketing funnel now, but 90% of my business is through reaches me through search engine optimization. So that's one of the tools that really helped me grow. That's a strategy that I implemented from the get-go. It's an ongoing. It's an ongoing thing. You're never done with it, so it evolves as my business evolves. I need to keep changing it. Yeah, so that's my main strategy for growing with marketing. And then the other, I've been recently putting a lot of time into Instagram marketing and trying to figure out what works on that to get people to go to my website to rent machines.
You've been pretty much putting out daily videos at this point in the last few months that I've seen, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try. Though I try the weekends. Sometimes it doesn't happen. It's just a lot, and I like my weekends.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I really have a hard time not just diving into the weeds and learning more about how you run your business. And I've got that ADHD curiosity where it's like I want to become almost an expert at everything, and then drop it right before I do it. So just so I don't get distracted here. Talk to me about how, so we talked a little bit about field. We've talked about, so this is something that you're doing for a career now.
Yes.
I want to learn more about the other aspects of your life and how it's impacted your decision to enter into this as your current field of choice.
Okay.
So let's talk about, I want to ask about finances first of all. So you're renting out these machines. How many machines do you have right now?
I have 8 right now. I started out with 3.
Okay.
Yes.
And how much do you rent those out for a month?
It's on a sliding scale right now because I'm working on my supply and demand situation, but we're at $449 per month.
Okay. So
Yeah.
$449 per month times 8 of those. That's pretty decent money right there. That's, $230 or
3,000 something a month.
yeah, somewhere around there. And so how many machines in an ideal world do you want to get to within the next year?
So right now, literally today, I'm buying 9 more machines. So I'm doubling up. I'm taking a big step. My goal is to reach about 31 machines. I have a worksheet with all my pricing and pricing structure worked out. And I have a model that I know will work for me and make me the income that I would like to make. And that I will hit that number with about 30 machines.
Cool.
So I'm on my way, but it's slow going. They're expensive.
Yeah. Are you comfortable talking about how much the machines themselves cost?
Sure. Yeah, it's public knowledge. Yeah, I'm done. The machines themselves are $11,000 a pop. So every time I want to buy a new one, it's like buying a used car. So it's a lot to stomach. But people really love these machines. So I don't know. I'm taking a risk and sinking my money into it because I think it's a worthy cause, and I think people really love what these things do for them.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really, really cool. Okay, so there's the finance side of this, and so if you have 30 machines, you're right about $12,000 to $15,000 a month with your current pricing.
Yep.
Obviously, that will increase or decrease over time as the demand of the market does, right?
Right.
So that kind of covers finance.
And I'm not, just real quick, the reason I have a sliding scale isn't to benefit me so much, it's just to make things work. So my model's always been to help people, and I need to be able to help people while also taking care of myself. So so that's why the sliding scale exists. I know I'm talking about supply and demand, but I'm not a shark. I just need to watch my own finances,
Well, and unless you became independently wealthy since the last time we talked, I imagine that you're having to do some financing to get some of the machines.
Yeah, we're getting creative with credit cards and stuff. Yeah.
So it's important for you to reach a certain bottom line to make sure this business actually makes sense.
100%. And that's where the coaches, you mentioned coaching and stuff, that's where the coaching is really helping me, because I wouldn't be able to even stomach sinking that amount of money if I didn't have someone else telling me that it would probably be okay and that was a sound strategy.
Yeah, because you said you bought 9 machines this morning. That's basically 100 grand.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah, it feels like a really big step, and it's a little scary, but it feels right at this point. It wouldn't have felt right 2 months ago even, but it's the time. Now is the time, and yeah, I don't know. It's just you got to take risks sometimes. So,
Yeah.
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 There might be some used machines on the market here in a year or so if it doesn't work out. But yeah, keep your eyes out.
If there are, I hope you're the one buying them. You did so good with your SEO that other people have to sell to you.
Sure.
They want to join forces. Love it. Love it. How has family influenced your personal and professional development?
Oh man, for me, family is everything, and it influences everything I do. I would say, I do everything. I mean, I do things for myself, but everything I do, I keep in mind of honoring my family and doing the right thing by how I was raised, and you know that influences the way that I act with customers on the phone. That influences the pricing that I provide for my products for people. Anything and everything really. I love my family. I have a great family. They're also my support system. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without them. My mom is an incredible lady. She's a really savvy businesswoman. She's created her own business, and she's been my mentor.
Let's hit pause for a second. So we got interrupted by the big Air Force jet that was flying overhead, and you were just getting into talking a bit about your mom, who, if you haven't seen it, I actually did a podcast episode with her, and so this is the point in YouTube or something where I'll link it. I don't know how that works, but yeah, we'll just hold a box right here, and it will appear in the middle, I guess. Yeah, so, okay, so your mom's been a big support. Dive back into that.
Yeah, you know what? My mom kind of gave me the confidence to take a risk and start in on this business. I was at a point where I was either going to go back to school or I was going to do something else. And she's had my back the whole way, and she's coached me herself. Even though I haven't asked her to be my coach, she has graciously been my coach and my mentor through everything, because she's walked this path before. It's kind of I'd say it's a lonely endeavor, especially at first. You really feel like maybe, I don't know, it's kind of hard. You don't know if you're doing the right thing. You feel weird because you're sinking all of your money into something that's not necessarily giving you money back for a while.
Yeah.
It's hard, and it really helps to have someone who you care about tell you that it's okay and that it'll and that you're doing okay. So yeah, my family is everything. They're my support system, and I love them very much. And I wouldn't be here still without them. So
yeah. Tell me about your fitness journey.
Yeah. Shoot. In the last couple of years, I've taken it upon myself to be nice to myself, I guess. I spent a lot of my younger years just not caring about my health and figuring kind of like maybe a lot of younger people do. I feel like they're invincible in a way. You know, you don't outright explicitly think that, but you know, like you're like, I can keep eating like this in a bad way. My metabolism will take care of it. Mm-hmm. I'll be fine. So anyway, ran into some health issues a couple years ago. I have an autoimmune disorder that I found out about, which was making me feel terrible. I'm glad I found out about it, because I thought I was just past a certain point of physical deterioration where I just wasn't like going to be feeling good anymore. So when I found that out,
one of those old men in their 30s.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. You know, I would tell people that. I'm like, oh, you know, I'm old, I can't do that, and you know, like that wasn't true. And I'm glad there are people that told me that wasn't true and that I could change. So I really just set out to do everything that I could to be healthy. And so that means I exercise almost every day. I do a mix of cardio and weight training, split it between the week. Just anything. I do something every day to get moving, and besides being obviously good for you physically, like it's the only way that I feel good mentally now, besides doing stuff like I even still do some of my neurofeedback with the machines that I rent out, but the physical exercise is a crucial part of my well-being. So fitness is everything to me.
And obviously people on camera don't know this, but I remember a couple of years ago when I ran into you were at a point with your physical well-being where it seemed like from your lower spine all the way up to your head, you could not move side to side. Like you were, I mean, stiff as a rail
Yep.
all through your back and neck. And it's, so I thought about that even today when I was setting up the chairs about how great it is that you can actually turn your head to have this conversation.
Oh, isn't that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Part of my autoimmune disorder is that my neck fused. I found that out through taking x-rays, and they're like, oh yeah, the reason why you're hunched over like that, I used to be hunched over like this all the time. The reason why you're hunched over is because your neck fused in a curve. And wow. I said, that really upset me. I went off the deep end for like a couple months, just total depression. I'm like, oh wow, great, I'm a hunchback now, like for the rest of my life. And you know, like then it was like, you know what, I don't care if maybe this is my fate, but I said I'm gonna do everything that I can to change it or do better. And I did, and today, like, my neck's like pretty straight. I still hunch over a little bit, but it's getting better and better because I exercise it. I haven't x-rayed my neck, but I think I think it's breaking up a little bit. It has to be because I literally, like you said, you couldn't turn, and I can turn now.
That
so.
range of motion is wild. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just you doing that there was a shock to me because I think you still have a little bit of that tendency to shift your whole body, but the fact that you can crank your head all the way over to show me.
Sure. Because it used to be like this, if at all. I don't even think I could used to be able to do that. So.
No, it was wild.
So yeah, I'm just trying to empower myself to be healthy for the future because I want to. I'm only getting older, right?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
I saw a video recently that was a snowboarders after a day on the hill video, and it was just Johnny Cash singing "I Hurt Myself Today."
Great, yeah, what a great song caption. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, I feel that after passing 35.
I know, yeah. Shoot.
So the last F of the 5 that I ask people about in any order that makes sense is faith.
Okay.
What role has faith played in your life, and what role does it play in your journey today?
Sure. So I grew up in the church, Seventh-day Adventist. My whole family is Adventist.
What are Seventh-day Adventists? Is that a Christian faith, Buddhist? I mean,
yeah, Seventh-day Adventist is a Christian denomination.
Okay.
They are differentiated from other Christians in that they keep the Sabbath on Saturday and not Sunday. There are a couple other things, but that's one of the main differences. My whole family is Adventist, and I went to Adventist school. I learned a lot of good ways to act growing up through the church. I learned so many valuable virtues, like just to be a good person, and I think that carries over into who I am today. I still abide by those 10 commandments. I still like to abide by the golden rule. That's faith has impacted definitely directly who I am today. I'm really grateful for my Christian education growing up. That was a very valuable, high quality education, and all of it's shaped who I am today. I don't go to church anymore, but I still carry all of those, like I said, the virtues with me and whatnot, and I'm so grateful to have those in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that covers everything I wanted to do in here. Like I said, I know I could talk about the business for hours and go through those things forever. But if anyone wants to contact you, they're wrestling with anxiety or anything else that can be helped by a neurofeedback device, how do they get a hold of you and get a hold of one of your devices?
Oh, that's great. Thanks for shouting me out. My website is californianeurofeedback.com.
Cool. We'll throw a link down at the bottom of this video somewhere. Make sure people know how to get a hold of you and one of those if they're interested and learn more.
Thank you, James.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter, thanks for sitting down with me. We'll do it again sometime.
Great. Thanks for having me.
All right, done.
Awesome. Oh, that
Thank
was
you.
fun.
That was. Did we lose any angles? Oh, perfect timing.
Right as the sun was like coming through.
Yeah. Nice.
That was fun. I've never done a podcast before.